Welcome to the Guide to AAIC series. These guides are meant to help you put your best foot forward as you're thinking about your submissions to the Alzheimer's Association International Conference, AAIC, and to optimize your overall participation at this conference. In this guide, we'll be talking about travel fellowships, which are also known as conference fellowships. Conference fellowships to AAIC are a mechanism for attendees to access support to attend the conference where they demonstrate a clear need. These fellowships are highly competitive and are awarded based on a thorough review of application materials and the financial need that is demonstrated in these applications. And conference fellowship applications should be submitted in conjunction with a submission to AAIC. So the mechanism to apply for this is tied to your abstract submission. So it's important that you plan a scientific submission to AAIC in order to be considered for travel support. Of note here is that organizers and presenters of pre-conference programs and some ISTAART events may also be considered, and we'll go over those in a couple of slides' time. But let's talk about what the different tiers are. There are different ways in which we offer travel support to come to AAIC to make sure that the resources that we have and are offering can reach as many of our attendees as possible. The highest tier, of course, is the full AAIC Conference Fellowship. So this offers round-trip flights, hotel nights for the days of the conference, as well as full main conference registration costs. Then from there, there's partial AAIC fellowships. These offer round-trip flights and AAIC registration, or can be a combination of hotel nights and AAIC main conference registration. The tier down from that is an AAIC registration fellowship, which covers the full cost of the main conference registration. We also have an ISTAART fellowship track, which is offered as a combination of flights or limited hotel nights based on a confirmed role or acceptance into an ISTAART program at AAIC. And it's noteworthy here that this does not include registration to the main conference. All fellowship decisions are made once we receive all submissions and have confirmed what is being included in the final program. So how are these decided? Well, as I mentioned, they are very competitive. So they're awarded based on a thorough review of the application materials, the financial need, and we consider the following criteria. We look at country because we prioritize those based in low middle income or upper middle income countries. We also look at career stage, prioritizing those who are earlier in their career. Of course, we do also look at the abstract review score and look at the highest average scores based on the peer review process of the abstracts and submissions. And we also look at presentation types and the variety of participation. So if you are presenting multiple presentations and are also involved across multiple pre-conference and main conference programs and ISTAART programs, those will also be considered as part of the review process. But it is important that everybody who is requesting a conference fellowship through their submission submits a statement that demonstrates the need, as this is also very closely considered alongside these criteria. So I mentioned that there are ISTAART supported conference fellowships as well. If you're not familiar with ISTAART, this is our professional society, the International Society to Advance Alzheimer's Research and Treatment. In addition to the criteria I mentioned in the previous slide, there are some additional restrictions that apply to this track of fellowships as well. You must be a current ISTAART member with an active membership, and also must be named as an organizer or a speaker in a confirmed ISTAART submission. So the submission must have been accepted for inclusion in the main program in order to be eligible. So it is highly recommended that those seeking travel support for AAIC overall submits an abstract and uses that as their primary route to requesting a conference fellowship. Also noteworthy is that ISTAART has other opportunities for members to participate at AAIC, depending on the career stage and the intention of how you want to participate. ISTAART has a couple of career development programs. There's the Ambassador Program, which is tailored to early career individuals. And if you want to learn more about that, you can go to alz.org/ISTAART ambassadors. And there's the ISTAART Ascent Program for mid-career individuals. And details about that are available at alz.org/ISTAART Ascent. It is important to note that these programs do have additional criteria for selection and are not just based on AAIC or your submission. And there are significant commitments with these programs on site during AAIC, as well as year-round commitments required of you as someone on the program, even after AAIC. So make sure you consult the program details on each track on each of these sites before you consider these as relevant to your participation at AAIC. A few things to note. Conference fellowships are not cumulative or interchangeable. So this means that if you do get one type of conference fellowships, you can't kind of transfer that to a different type or different abstract or submission. And if you do submit multiple submissions, you will only be considered once each year, but you will be considered via the highest eligible route. So what this means is that if you submit multiple abstracts and you have also submitted a workshop proposal, and I've also applied for the ambassador program, it doesn't mean that we would add all of those together. We would just consider you at that through the highest eligible route that makes sense for you as the applicant. The ISTAART supported conference fellowships track for pre-conference events does not include hotel nights for the main conference and does not include the main AAIC conference registration. So again, worth noting all of this as well. And it's important that you read all of your conference fellowship notifications to carefully understand what is being covered before making any reservations or making any payments. Because once you, if you have applied for a conference fellowship, we are unable to provide reimbursements if you already paid for something and then get the notification that you've been covered. So if you do apply for this, please wait till you hear back from us and do not register for the conference or book any travel, as we won't be able to provide those reimbursements. If at any point you have any questions about this, do email us at conferencefellowships@alz.org. And it's important to note as well that it's worth joining ISTAART because, as you've seen, there are additional tracks to accessing AAIC. There are additional benefits at AAIC, including extended abstract submission deadlines, which the conference fellowships are tied to. So do consider joining if you're not an ISTAART member. And also that means you could also consider if you are a fit for the career development programs through ISTAART as well. Thank you so much for listening and all the best with your submission.